जयधारी माँ। हर जीवन अनेक प्रकार के रंगों से भरा हुआ है। बातचीत वही रंग बांटेगी आप सबके साथ। हम सब एक हैं, बस सोच अलग अलग है। बटोर लीजिए उन रंगों को, जो भी आप चाहें इस बातचीत से, और ढाल लीजिए अपनी सोच में। यही मकसद है इस बातचीत का। आइए मिलते हैं अपने प्यारे से मेहमान से। अतिथि देवो भव।
जयधारी माँ।
Fantastic.
हमारी ऑडियंस का स्वागत है आप सबको। जयधारी माँ, आइए जुड़िए जुड़िए जुड़िए। आज के हमारे अतिथि हैं पुलेला गोपीचंद जी। गोपी सर को आप जानते हैं एज विश्व प्रसिद्ध बैडमिंटन प्लेयर, कोच। आज आप जानेंगे कि उनकी ये जो जर्नी है फ्रॉम प्लेयर टू कोच, उसमें कितना सरेंडर है, समर्पण है, stillness है. He has this divine ability to just be in the moment. And his journey is all about taking a leap of faith. And after taking that leap of faith, he gave it his all. He gave it his all after taking that leap of faith. आइए उनके वीडियो देखते हैं and then we meet जी।
So well made. I hope you liked it, Gopi.
Yes, ma'am. Really like it. Really well done, Saina.
I'm so happy. Saina, thank you. And you and your team. I don't hear you, Saina. Switch on your mic. Yeah.
It's our blessed team. It's Shakira and Shivani and Sujata and Sumit. It's our blessed team with Ma's Kripa. Very welcome, sir. Very, very welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
Sir, it's been wonderful knowing you through this research. It's been so wonderful knowing you. And it's not just the sport, it's about also being such a blessed human being, sir.
Thank you.
So, I want to ask you, I want to start by asking you, sir, how important is it for a sports person or a sportswoman to have true longing, sir, true sincere longing for the right reasons, the true hunger, the true thirst for the sport to really deliver on the big days?
Well, for me, sport or anything in life um, is if you decide to do something, it was about giving all of your resources to ensure that you succeed. And for me, as an athlete, that journey is many, many years because it doesn't end as a true athlete, I would say. It doesn't end at winning a district or a state or a national or an international or even a world championship. I think you can be the best in the world, but you're longing, you're wanting to do better, or in some sense, you wanting to be the best you can be, potential wise. I think that longing is a lifelong thing. And that for me is, I think, something which is very important. So it turns out that you might lose many times, but every next time you're thinking, I might win again, and I'll do whatever it takes to win. And even when the whole world is thinking you're losing, you're actually going out then believing that you have a chance. I think that kind of unrelenting effort in the face of most mostly defeat and most possibly defeat, you as one person believing that I am going to win no matter what, and I'll do whatever is in my control to ensure that I win, I think is the true spirit, which I think is very important. And you've done it for so long, so it becomes nature in some ways that whatever you do, you kind of give it that kind of wholehearted effort and push.
Gee, sir, which talking about the mind, how do you develop mental fitness, sir? How do you
I
really
think
develop mental fitness?
in my book, I think for me, love, for me, when we look at say success, so when we look at achieving something, the words which we use are dedication, determination, sacrifice, hard work. But if you're actually replacing these words with passion, love, involvement, pride, then the same work can be achieved in a positive manner and with a lot of affection and bhakti and divinity, rather than actually when you do it as hard work and discipline and sacrifice. It be difficult to continue such work for a long time. But if you do it for the pride, if you do it for the love, if you do it for the passion, I think the same things become so much easier and you can do it for much longer periods of time. Yes, there is time when there are moments where pride comes in or you need to be pushing to do things, but that should be a shorter amount of time. Majority of the time, it's best if you work in because you love doing this, you are involved with doing this, and you're passionate about it. Those things are very critical in this whole journey, because to live 10, 15, 20 years of your life with dedication, determination, and hard work becomes very difficult if you don't love what you do.
Are you born with it, Gopi? Are we born with the love, or do we develop this love? What happens? What have you seen in champions? While I think you, as I've seen you, I think you had it in you. You had the fire in you. You had the love in you. You were thirsty. You're looking for a sport, and you hated about the badminton court because that's the only place which you could get accommodated to play. You tried cricket. You tried tennis, but as I've heard. But did you have the love within you, or did you develop it? What is the issue with you? I think the world needs to know you. Were you born with it, or did you grow it?
Ma'am, I like this question for two reasons. It actually opens up to tell me that if it was education which I was pursuing, and if I had to have the same love for maths or physics, I don't think I would have had it. So truly, I think somewhere you're connected to these things, and not everybody is cut out for the same job. I think somewhere what you love and what you are passionate about is also something which you are innately different. People have different things. The other thing for me is that hard work when they talk, or passion when they talk, or mental strength when we talk about it as though it's like a check day movie where the coaches come, gives you a pep talk, and there is mental strength happening. But I think for me, mental strength is like um, drops in a bucket. Every time you decide to do something and you do it against all odds. It could be very simple things. You go to a dinner and everybody is, you've decided not to eat a sweet. And if you stick on to that, it's like you put a drop into that bucket of mental strength. If everybody goes to a party and if you have to sleep in the night on time because you have to practice next day morning, that's a drop in the bucket of mental strength. Every time you find it difficult to do lift 10 kgs, and if you make an effort and finish doing the job which your coach tells you, even though you find it difficult to do, that's another drop into the bucket of mental strength. The amount of drops you collect is collectively what mental strength is. It's not something which comes out of the blue on one day and you decide that I'm mentally strong. No. I think every time you think of something and you actually achieve it, something you actually decide to do it over time, something which you actually find it difficult but you overcome that challenge. I think all those drops collectively make you who you are, and that is the strength mentally. So many a times the amount of strength you have physically actually translate into mental strength. People who are physically strong have become physically strong because they're eating right, they're training well, and they are resting well. And actually, that process itself makes you mentally strong, and that is very, very important.
When did you, as a child, recognize that you are meant for higher achievements? When did you, as a child, recognize? Did you spot that one day you make it this big, the Padma Bhushan of the day, the Arjuna Award, the Khel Ratans, the Dronacharya of Indians badminton? Did you ever get the flash that this is your destiny, or it could become your destiny? Or have you just flown and grown with this destiny and let it be?
Ma'am, every step I climbed in my life, and honestly, the next step seemed possible. I have not looked back and seen, or neither have I dreamt, or do I intend to dream, because my dream would have never been so big. I really, so I'm scared of dreaming because I'm scared of dreaming too low. So I just continued the day after day, and I think it's taken me much further than what I would have as a 10-year-old. If I had thought or seen people around me, I would have max thought of being a state champion or a national champion, but I wouldn't have thought of me becoming an All England champion or thought of actually building so many players or being able to affect the lives of so many people. So I take each day, give it all I have, and be honest to do it, and actually ask this question: if I don't do it, who will do it? Kind of a thing. Am I shrinking away from my position? And if I don't do it, who will do it? And um, if that question is that you have to do it, I just jump into it. So that's made me jump into being a coach, being an administrator, doing things which normally were not in my skill set. but whatever needs to be done, and if nobody is there to do it, I'll have to do it. So I've learned new things. I've tried to be different. I've tried to improve myself, and that's been this whole journey over time. Honestly, maybe a year before the All England or a few months before, I would have thought of it, but maybe 5 years or 10 years before that, or 10 years before I started an academy, or 10 years before becoming part of the sporting ecosystem, I would have never imagined that things would be so good in my life.
What do you do to recharge, Gopi? Of course, all of us hard work persons who are goal oriented, work oriented, karma oriented, duty conscious oriented, as you are as a coach. What do you do to recharge? Or do you don't get
Um,
discharged? Do you
Ma'am,
remain charged?
luckily, um, I like to sleep when I can. I'm pretty lazy. On an off day, I just love to sleep. I spend time with family, and and I know it's very strange, but in the last maybe year or so, I look at a tree and I just fall in love with the tree, and it's amazing. I just find it unreal that trees are so beautiful. And I was in Delhi 2 days back, and it's so surprising that Delhi has such beautiful trees around, and each one is so beautiful. So I find it nature as something which I really love, and I just feel very blessed, and somehow I just feel it's strange that there were these trees and animals around all the time, and we've actually not taken the time to even look at them. And I feel so guilty about it because I've passed through these trees thousands of times, and I've never appreciated them. I just look at the trees around India Gate, and it's unbelievable. So much of beauty. The people talk about the beauty of the buildings, but the trees around them are so beautiful, and I just see them and I feel so blessed. So today, strangely, I have the ways of recovery are so different. I look at kids. Performances, I'm recovering. I look at trees, I'm recovering. I look at um, people, I'm recovering. It's very different now. It's not been the case always. I would be very stressed looking at it, but happiness and sadness have always been very momentary in my life. I feel very happy, but that's only for a moment. And I feel sad. It used to be many days I used to be sad when I was playing. Slowly that time has come down. Today also I feel sad, but the duration of sadness is very less. I learn my lessons and move on quickly. So thankfully it's been God's been kind. I think a lot of blessings from some great souls has actually helped me. My parents, everybody. I think it's been a divine journey. I do not honestly think that I have done it because it wouldn't have been possible for me to do it, or humanly possible for anybody to go through such a good journey. And I'm scared about taking this journey again because I believe it's God's will that I'm here and nothing more.
So you've gone through a very, very intense journey, and you took that leap of faith. You took that leap of faith. You actually said in one of your interviews it was like jumping off a cliff. You jumped off that cliff. So I truly believe when you coach, you pass on all your wisdom, all your love, all your blessings, all your learnings to all the children. They are blessed. They are blessed, sir. Your journey from a player to coach has been designed by them, and they've given you the strength and the tools for it. Sir, we're going to show you your heart. We're going to show you a little video clip, and that's also your karma bhumi. That's also your karma bhumi. Then we ask you more, sir. We're longing to hear more from you, sir. We show you a clip. Sir, your your academy, your academy, when it started, it was it was you and the Almighty. Nobody else believed in this dream. How did it all happen? And how do you feel when you see it now? Because you've given it your all. आपने सब कुछ करा है. From a seed to a tree.
Honestly, for me, this journey has been really designed to be this way because for me, when I was playing, I always struggled for basic infrastructure, uh, court to play, coaches, players, shuttles, food, um, gym, swimming pool, running track. So when I finished my coaching career, playing career, I thought I should provide kids with all these things in one place. And I thought raising money would be okay because as an All England champion, you would find it not so difficult to raise money. But soon I realized that it was a big challenge. I had a person called N. Prasad who gave me a good check to start off, but that didn't fulfill more than half of the money was still required. And really had to go through a lot of trouble to get the place fully operational. Um, I had to kind of literally mortgage my house to actually get the academy starting. But what was, in fact, even more crazy was that the day I built the academy, the government decided to take the land back because now Gachibowli in Hyderabad was a prime area, and somebody had nice idea to build service apartments and real estate on that. So I had to fight a court case for 6 years to get the land back. At the time when players were winning major events, I had to go through this. And I'm really thankful to our governor, ESL Narsimhan, who stood like a pillar all through that time. So I've had great troubles from strange people in my life, but I also had unprecedented kind of support from some unknown people who were not even related to me in some sense, or who out of the way went out and helped me to actually support me. So I think when I look at this entire thing, it's just divine will. I am very passionate, or I love the center and all of it, um, but I think it's just designed to be this way. Today we have 23 badminton courts. We started off at 8. We have 23 badminton courts. We have people lining up to join the academy. We can't cater to all of them. And I do believe that there are thousands of kids across the country with talent whom we need to support. So it's something which is really, really great. And I think it's just something. At least when I started off, we wanted to produce a medal because I heard people telling me when I went for funding that Indians can't be great at this sport. Badminton as a sport doesn't have the eyeballs to be a world sport. Indians can't be champions. So all of these words actually hurt me personally, and I just wanted to prove that it is possible. And today, having at least certified, or at least having ensured that what I said is true. And I think it's important that we build a system for the country so that everybody, wherever they are, in whichever part of the country, if they have a talent, they actually can succeed at it.
For you, I noticed all along, speed is important. For you, you value speed. You see, in your life, you're a very rare combination, Gopi. You became a champion yourself, and you made champions of your students. And you're going to make champions for future. You created an academy in such a young age, and you've done it single-handedly. It's a very rare combination of three in one, and you are also four because it's futuristic. Your academy is forever. For you, speed has been important. How did you get that feeling? Was it instinctive, or was it ingrained? Was it read? Was it mentored? How? Tell us, because successful people believe in speed and talent. You proving it. But tell us, you talk all about speed, value for time, fast forwarding. Tell us. I think it's a very rare trait about speed. Tell us, what do you mean by speed?
Ma'am, one of the things is that although you might see me as one, um, truly this wouldn't have been possible without the people around me. My family was super, super supportive. My dad and mom still help me. My wife Lakshmi took care of my kids forever. And I just believe that if one of them was not in sync with what I was doing, because I was spending crazy amounts of time. I would get up at 4 in the morning, 4:15. I'm at the training court. At 7, I'm back. I'm dead tired. I'm sleeping at 8 o'clock, and then I'm just not bothering to do anything other than coaching. And they had to go through a lot in their life to ensure that my dream succeeds. And God's been kind. Everyone's health, touch wood, was good. So I think some of those things. That's why I say this. This is divinely only possible, because there were a million things which can go wrong, and I wouldn't have succeeded. But I think just it needed to be this way, so it is. Now, as far as speed is concerned, ma'am, one, it's as a sports person, whether when I was playing, I learned a lot of things from my coaches, and also I learned a lot of things from trial and error. So, one of the things which I always did was if I heard, read, or if I listened to somebody, I would actually implement it now. And if it be drastic decisions related to food, training, it would be related to recovery, it would be related to all those things. I would do it now. So I've tried everything in my life in terms of food, in terms of mindset, in terms of aggression or defensiveness on court, strategy on court. All of these things have been very, very helpful. So I am in a hurry as far as experimentation is concerned, and that has really helped for me. If somebody says that we should do it, and if I believe it, I'm doing it starting now. And those things actually have really been helpful. Many a times I have failed, but at least I know that this part of it has failed. So that's something as far as, and I'm not in a hurry, although I might seem in a hurry, but I've been very, very patient. As a player, I've been patient. As a coach, I've been patient. As an administration, you have to be patient, because even today, I'm happy with progress. I don't want perfection. I don't. I'm not saying that I want perfect things on day one. I'm just saying let's start off now. And since don't wait for the best opportunity or the best moment to come. It might just never come. Just start walking and we'll figure on the way what to do. And that's what's something which has always helped, because I believe we might never just have perfect settings and perfect things. And as we work in a group, we need to kind of take everybody along. And even if it is not the perfect answer, I think even if we are just going 10% in that direction, I'm happy to accept it and move on.
You believe in the power of now.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And there is blessed stillness. There's blessed stillness, and you're being in the moment. It's very evident through the videos. So, Ma bless your children. You spoke about your family. How does it feel? I can't miss this, but how does it feel to coach your children? How does it feel to coach them? How does it feel to see them? They are you.
Um, Truly, my son and my daughter playing, I just really love the way they play. Um, and I have this feeling about many players, definitely. But more to my kids, I'm more of a fan than a coach. For many other kids, I am first a coach and then I appreciate them. But for my kids, I'm actually a fan of them, and I appreciate it because how often does it happen that one family will have two national champions or two Olympic medalists or two Asian champions? So I think to expect that thing is unreal. So I think whatever I'm getting out of their life in terms of badminton itself is a bonus, and I'm happy itself that they are, and they go through very. It's not no nice to be compared to an All England champion, and if you start expecting that everybody will be an All England champion, I think then it's very unfair on the kids, what we pass on to them as judgments. So I'm very blessed and happy that they love the sport, they enjoy playing, and they enjoy fighting. But it's their journey; they still have to do it their way. Whatever my daughter has achieved and my son has achieved, I'm already very very proud of them. Whatever they play is always a bonus. It's never. I'm already enough for me.
What do they love about you? What do they tell you, Daddy? We love this about you. What do they tell you? The daughter and the son, are they different? Or they both saying the same thing? Tell us about your children. What do you hear from them?
Well, I think this question you'll have to ask them. I may not be the right one to answer that, but I tend to believe that I'm not putting any pressure on them. I make it conscious of that, and I'm happy with whatever they've played and whatever they decide to do because having played sport and having coached players, I know I might be remembered for the many medals I won, but each one of them has come with so many losses. Each one of the champion names which we have taken have come with hundreds of them who've not made it. So I have seen more failure than anybody else. And I know that the possibility of failure is much more. So I don't want kids to be looking at that way. But as a coach, I need to be, or as a parent, I need to be having the safety net to ensure that if they fall, then we are ready to actually get them back on their feet quickly. I think that is very important. So I have a good relationship with my parents, with my grandparents who are very old, but also my kids, and I'm very blessed and happy that it is that way.
Do you all eat together? Do you all dine together? Is that a rule?
Yes, we all are together, and I think it's something which is really wonderful.
Ma bless the family, sir, and Ma bless your children. Ma bless the children, sir. May they always be in divine protection, sir. Sir, I want to ask you how does a sports person channel the hurt? How does a sports person channel the failures, the losses? How do you bounce back? Because that period is very important. How do you bounce back?
I think to take sport as a career is crazy. The chances of you succeeding are very less. It's very unreal the expectations which people have out of sport. If everybody in IIT were to think that getting a Nobel Prize in physics or chemistry or electronics would make them successful, then I think everybody who goes to IIT will be a failure. Majority of them, they succeed because they think that passing out of IIT is a success. Whereas when you come to the sporting arena, you say that if you win an Olympic medal, then you're successful. So it's the unreal expectations are something which we need to take out of sport. Having said that, we cannot go into sport and think that we are going to fail. I think that's the disaster. That's never the case. So I think if everybody around thinks or knows that you're losing, you should not believe that you're losing. You should believe that you still have a chance to win. And you should believe that I'm going to win from now, whether it's 20-0 or in the badminton field, or if you're um, in any other sport, you're desperately behind and there's no chance of you winning also. But you should think that I have a chance to win, and that's the way it should be. But the moment you lose and the moment it is over, I think a fraction of a moment, you just reset your mind to think that next time I'm going to win and I have to do these things to win. And my loss is only to tell me that I have not done these things right. And the next time I'm going to win, and this loss is just a stepping stone for me to win. I think that attitude is very important. So I think people who take up sport should actually live in this world of belief and so strongly embedded that I think that un, unwavering focus on the task is something which is very critical. People around, society around, families, coaches, parents, I think they should provide the safety net that these kids, when they fall and fail, we kind of support them. But in the minds of the player, not even for a second after they lose, they should think that they have lost. They should think that I'm going to win again and this is just another stepping stone. Thinking about failure and defeat makes your hormones behave very differently. So you should get away from that feeling very quickly and act very quickly to correct those mistakes. And I think that is very, very important.
How much is the role, Gopi, of a coach vis-a-vis a sports person to come out of a defeat? I won't say a failure. It's a defeat to a better player. Let's say that you lose obviously to a better player. And how much is the role? What kind of proportional role the coach plays, and the person, the player themselves play, and the support system? I think the three things which are affecting the mind. One is the kind of coaching you give to a person, to your student. Then the family support system, how they're looking at a defeat or a loss to a better player, and then the person themselves. What is the proportion? Where is the player coming in? What kind of training, self training, does the player need to bounce back himself or herself?
Ma'am, years ago, the guru was everything. Like years ago, centuries ago, in a culture, once the guru and he was everything. Um, Even in my life or my predecessors and some of always had coaches say everything and it was followed to the T. And that there have been many, many cases like that. But also today you have multiple people taking those roles because today science, sports science talks about a psychologist, physiologist, physiotherapist, nutritionist, master. You don't know manager, general social media, marketing guys. So you don't know who is giving what input to the player. I think in an ideal world, I think you should trust one person, and the rest of the people around should be fans and critical. And there is a difference between what people want and what they need. And as players become big and big, they tend to surround themselves by people who tell them what they want, not what they need. And the reality is that you need the one person in your life to tell you if it is wrong, you're wrong very bluntly, and to make those correct decisions at the correct time. So different things, ma'am. I've seen things change in the last 5 to 10 years very drastically with the coming of all of these people. Because when I was coaching or when I was playing, you were the coach, you were the physio, you were the manager, you were the trainer, you were the masseur, you were the guardian, everything rolled into one as a coach. But today, you have a physiotherapist, you have a psychologist, you have a trainer. So I think multiple voices are coming from different people. So we are at a crossroads where who decides this is the big question mark. My belief is a coach led and an athlete centric system is what is needed. Um, but today we have multiple people who have actually taken those roles. So each one's journey could be a little different. But players should do, and people should differentiate between what the player wants and what the player needs. They're two different things. And when people become big, they will get away with what they want and not necessarily with what they need.
How are you resolving certain conflicts? Must be quite a challenge for you as a coach who's had first of all coach centric environment, and now you have multi influencing and you have the same champions going all over the world. How are you resolving? It must be quite a big challenge for you as a coach.
Yes, ma'am, it is. It is unfortunate because you're dealing with an ecosystem which is not really mature to handle such kind of a things. Names are important, publicity, and take you away from doing the right thing. But TK, in this present environment, this dharma, you'll have to work the way things are. You can't run away from what is there today. So you need to adjust, and I think that is very important. I think to relearn as a player, as a coach, as an administrator, and to basically kind of not be stuck with ego, but to actually accept that this is the way the world is, and we need to still make a difference with this. Is, I think, is very very important. Your actions may not be right, but at least your heart should be always right. Is what my feeling is.
Sir,
Gopi, I
are
find you
the
very, Saina, Gopi, I find you very equanimous. You're very equanimous in all your responses. You're very economist, you're very balanced, you're very stable, you're very settled. Where do you get this from? Is it a conscious training, or you've grown this as a second nature inherited from your family and support systems and environment? Have you trained yourself? Because I find you very, very balanced and economist in all your, you don't have ego issues. So how are you doing it? Because you're not hankering. In fact, I notice credit, appreciation, recognition, admiration, respect is on coming to you. You've never sought it. I've never seen you seeking it. It's come by itself. And how have you developed this equanimous nature? What is your message today? I know Saina too had this very interesting question when she was briefing me about you, that she finds you very, very equanimous, very strong mental training you've given to yourself. How did you do it? How have you done it? I think it's your answer would be very impacting for the youngsters listening to you.
Ma'am, in the 89 and 90, and innately, I was very, very competitive. I was, in fact, called the McEnroe of badminton when I was young because I was abusing players, I was abusing umpires, and I was fighting with all of them. This was when I was, say, 20 years old, very, very angry at many, many things. I got injured in 1994. I had a knee surgery. I broke the anterior cruciate ligament of my left knee. In 96 and 98, I had again surgeries on my left knee. And in again 2002, I had three fractures on my right foot and a knee surgery on my right knee because of overuse and imbalances. So I've really gone through a lot physically in my life. uh, wherein actually I was up and down, up and down, up and down, to realize that um, this is not going to be real. Whether you winning is not going to be permanent, and you will fall off. And the more grounded you are, is you're better sorted out, because the falling won't hurt you too much. So that's how I have been, and that's how my mindset has been trained over time. So for me, I said, I think to be passionate is important, but if you're emotional about it, or if you're attached about it, then you become very emotional about it. I think it's very important in my life, and I keep telling myself, and I'm no way perfect. I'm much, much, much further away from it, but I still want to be ready to walk away from everything and not look back at it again. That's how I would want it to be, because that's when you will be able to take the risks which are required in these fights, and you'll be able to take these challenges without any attachment. And I think that would be very important.
Wow, I loved it. You're ready to, you ever mentally even ready to walk away at any time you want. That's the ultimate. Achieve so much, inspired everybody to achieve so much, and yet you're willing to say, I'm willing to walk away. I can walk away when I want to walk away. Wow.
So, something coming to my mind when regarding your journey of coaching before we have a little surprise lined up for you. Sir, are the youngsters today with their parents? Are they understanding the importance of daily routine, daily hard work, daily practice? Are they understanding
Sena,
the
what
importance
they
of
have, what they have is very different from what we used to have. And to expect them to have what we have is very difficult for them, because they've been wired differently. When we went to the Olympics in 2000, 90 to 95% of the team didn't even know what we were going there for. We were just happy to take pictures, and then we were actually there in that space. But when the team was gone here this time for Rio or for Tokyo, you realize that 90, 80, 90% of them actually wanted to win. So there is some things which might be negative, but there are a lot of positives in the youth mindset of today, because they're not happy with lesser achievements. They want more. We like settled with a job. You get, you're fine. You get this, you're fine. A little bit of money, you're fine. More and more. And I think they're able to multitask better than what we have been able to. But I think so. Comparing generations would be something which I try not to do from my side ever, because they are different, and they don't do some things as well, but they do many things which are much better. So I think as a player, the one thing which you love about is your life is very, very focused, because all of the questions are about how can I make myself better. And today, years later, um, as a coach, I ask the same question in the opposite direction. Whatever makes the kid better is what I do, and that is all the difference it is. So there's no my style. It is whatever is the style which is required to get the best out of the student is what I will do. So it's a very simple thing, because that shift becomes the major challenge for many, because they're stuck, because all their life you've benefited from being selfish, thinking about the self, my practice, my food, my recovery, my training. And after 20, 30 years of playing, they turn into a coach, and still that my remains. But actually, if you were to turn that image or the mirror to the other side, you're so good at what you're doing as a player, you will just replicate that as a coach.
So all the children who are training under you are truly blessed. They're truly blessed. So we're calling in somebody who's known you very dearly to talk about you. It's a surprise, little surprise for you.
Nothing surprises Gopi, right? Gopi?
Yes. We have Mr. Kumar with us. Thank you, sir, for
Oh, my
joining
dear
us.
friend.
Yes.
Pradeep was not just like a mentor to me. Pradeep was like a mentor to me. So I think it's truly blessed to have his support all through the last 20 more years. Thank you,
Yeah.
Pradeep.
Hi, Gopi. Namaste, namaste, Kiranji, and hello, Saina.
हाँ जी
Namaste,
कुमार
Gopi
सर,
ji.
वेरी वेरी वेलकम सर। आप बताएंगे गोपी सर के बारे में, आपका आपका बॉन्ड उनके बारे में, कैसे आप मिले, कैसे
Yeah.
आपकी बॉन्ड बढ़ा।
Yeah. So, 20 years back, it was in 2002. So, he won All England. He was a champion at that time. He came to Tokyo. At that time, I was a PhD student in the University of Tokyo, doing my earthquake engineering PhD. So he visited one of my friend's house. So we all gathered, Telugu speaking people gathered, and then we had a good bonding from that day. So after I came to Hyderabad, I visited his house, and from there slowly our journey started. So I have seen him like all the transitions I have seen in his life. So first as a player, so I remember like he used to draw inspiration from his opponents actually. So he just want always try to be better than what the other person is doing. So that's how he became a champion. And then after that, after reaching the peak, he slowly transitioned from a great player to a coach. So I've seen all the struggle he has went through, and you have shown the stadium. So I have seen when it was a flat ground. So from that time onwards, I saw him lot of hardships he has went through, and he like reached a place where he's a successful coach, and like he has what do you call build a proper platform where good players can be groomed. So he has created a factory of excellent players. Factory. So there are so many
Everybody.
names. There are at least 10 names who are like great recognition at the world level. And after that, there is one more transition in his life. So that is he becoming coach, and he reached the peak in the as a coach. From there, now he is concerned about how to make more coaches. So coaches are not born. That's what he says. So coaches are to be groomed. So that journey we have had long charts, hour together the charts where I just listen what he says, and some unique points about him. That is, see, it is easy for all of us to recognize the people or players who reach the podium, but he has seen all this in his journey. There are so many people, maybe more than 95% of the people, who are not making to that point. Now he's concerned about how these people are going out of this sporting ecosystem. So they are feeling that they are rejects. So he is thinking how to convert that into a great capital which will be useful for the nation. So that is what is going on in his mind. He rarely speaks about that, but in action he is doing so many things for that. That is one thing which is unique. And the second unique thing about him is he will give recognition to all the people who are responsible for making one champion stand at the podium. So everyone down the line. So maybe like a gatekeeper, housekeeping person, cook, everyone are recognized when one champion comes out of his entire ecosystem. Then the third thing, which is another unique thing, is not only badminton. He is working for all the sports like how mainly athletics program. So he is supporting so many athletes through a lot of, he's developing a lot of resources. So that is another thing. So what I feel is he's a successful person and a true karma yogi. So like in the philosophy, what I believe, I like I have no hesitation saying that he has no bhutkal ke pida, no bhavishya ke chinta, no vartman se virod. So that's why he is all like composed. Whatever hardships are coming, he's like slowly sailing through that. So that's what I can say in short about him. And very good friend of mine. I can
जी
proudly say that.
जी सर, शुक्रिया। कुमार सर, आप खुद रजिस्ट्रार हैं IIT हैदराबाद में। आपका जब मैं बायो में पढ़ रही थी, वो इतनी सारी आपने पढ़ाई करी है, खूब पढ़ाई करी है सर। It was an intense biodata. I pray that Ma bless your friendship. Such blessed friendship is very rare. गोपी सर, बहुत उतार चढ़ाव देखे आपने, बहुत। ये भी उनकी कृपा है कि आप इतनी सरलता से उनके बारे में बात कर पा रहे हैं। उतार चढ़ाव तो बहुत देखे आपने। उस सारे उतार चढ़ाव से जो हमने सीखा है, आपने जाना है, वो आप बांट देते हैं, और वो आपने बांटा है थ्रू योर बुक द शटलर्स फ्लिक। एंड जिन्होंने आपके साथ उसको को-ऑथर करा है, वो छोटा सा एक सरप्राइज हम उनको बुला रहे हैं। पर पहले एक वीडियो देखते हैं सर, फिर प्रिया को बुलाते हैं।
Hi, my name is Priya Kumar, and it has been my privilege and good fortune to capture the journey and philosophy of Pullela Gopichand. The book is literally my Bible on how to create a champion's mindset and how not just to overcome odds and challenges, not only how to survive them, but how to turn them around so that they become turning points in your life. The book is literally a step-by-step guide on how to be a winner in life. And one of the finest inspiration points for me is that Pullela Gopichand became the world badminton champion. He won the All England Badminton Championship 20 years after Prakash Padukone, and literally it was on his own grit and his own method of training. And that is what brought attention to badminton to make it one of the top sports in India. Let me also tell you, the journey of a champion is a very secretive journey. They will not tell you their game. They literally would wish for you to lose. And after Pullela Gopichand became a world champion, he upped his game and became a coach. Now, the journey and the role of a coach is tell all, is to share, is to make sure not that you just win, but you're also better than him. And that is true leadership. From championship to leadership, I tell you, the book is my Bible. While Gopi Sir's journey is not just the journey of a world champion, but it is also the journey of a world-class leader. And while the book is about badminton, the philosophy and principles of success are interchangeable, which means I can look at his life, I can look at the way he made it to the pinnacles of success and decode it and use those into my life. And it doesn't matter which field you're in. I think success principles, value-based leadership, principle-based leadership is the same. And in that, I'm the greatest beneficiary of writing this book. More power to you, Gopi sir.
How wonderful. It's a curtain raiser, is it, Gopi? Is it already in the market?
Yes.
In the market, ma'am.
Ji, it is. Ji. Gopi sir, you can hear us?
Yes, it's already in the market, ma'am.
Yes.
It's also on Kindle? It's also in Kindle?
Sir, the picture, the connectivity, you can hear us, sir?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Is it also on Kindle?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir,
Fantastic.
Priya is not being able to join us क्योंकि वो travel कर रहे थे, तो रास्ते में वो नहीं join कर पा रहे। But sir, शटलर्स फ्लिक के बारे में आप बात करेंगे थोड़ी सी, क्योंकि इसका essence है make every match count, which is like making every day count. And sir, एक बात रह गई दिल में जो मैं जाते जाते आपसे पूछना चाह रही हूँ। एक टाइम ऐसा था कि आप स्मैश नहीं मारते थे बिकॉज शटल्स नहीं थे उतने. आप स्मैश नहीं मारते थे प्रैक्टिस में क्योंकि उतने शटल्स नहीं थे. From that day to writing the shuttles flick, how do you feel, sir?
Um, Honestly, I think it's been a divine journey. Um, but I just feel it's two different people. I just, unless people ask me about this, I'm not really responding. But truly, it's more when I see the transformation of the game when I started playing, when we believe that Indians cannot be world beaters to today. I think I'm really proud of that transformation more than anything. And think today, if there's a young kid who's playing at the academy and he plays a Korean or a Chinese or an Indonesian guy, he's going out there thinking that these guys I can manage. I think from when 20, 30 years ago, when I started playing international badminton, the thing was we would lose to anybody who comes from Korea, Malaysia, China, England, Denmark. I think that's a huge transformation which I have seen, and I'm really proud of Indian badminton going that route. And it is very, very important for me. That is for me is very important.
But this is very futuristic on your part, Gopi, to be now creating coaches, as your friend Pradeep reveals. Now creating coaches. I think you are making it long lasting, because if you create a whole assembly line of coaches, you're creating more gopis, you're creating more gopichands. That means Indian badminton stays at the top. And what I loved about it from you, thank you, how you brought women's strength to the forefront, beginning with Saina. I think you have brought in the women power, which you all yourself said, everybody said, ladki kya karegi, iske baad taakat nahi hai. And you proved it. And I don't know how you shaped a Saina, because Saina, being a Haryanvi, had it all in her. She had all the bronze and all the will, and the way her father used to commute to bring her over to you. And you must be so proud of Saina.
I think Saina has been phenomenal, ma'am, because although on the men's side we've had champions, it always was a question mark whether Indian women would do it. And typically the mindset at that time, because in the men's side you still have, say, Nandu Natekar, Suresh Goyal, Prakash Padukun, Syed Modi. You at least had champions from India on the men's side. Women, we actually had none. And the one excuse which everybody would give was Indian women aren't strong enough. And I think Saina, for that reason, her journey was even more creditable, because to be the first to start off on those lines was very important, and to actually have uh, broken through those beliefs. And it needed somebody like Saina, because she was somebody who wouldn't have any problems or any preconceived notions about anything. I think that kind of a person was needed to actually break the barrier. And once it is broken, then everybody starts to believe that it can be broken. And that belief is very important for actually achieving something. And I think Saina's mindset, and of course, her dying hunger for more and more, I think have been great reasons for Indian badminton, especially women's badminton, to be here.
No, thank you for putting women at the forefront. The country is so proud of them. You brought champions, the Olympians, champions from them. That credit goes to you, because now when there's a talk about women power, the the badminton champions top the list, along with all others. Thanks to you, forever, forever. You're a legend, and you created history forever, for yourself, for your family, for the game, and for this country. The country cannot thank you enough, Gopi.
Thank you, ma'am.
सब समय पूरा हुआ है, हमको प्रोग्राम को यहीं पे समाप्त करना पड़ेगा. वी आर सो ग्रेटफुल कि आप आज हमारे साथ जुड़े एंड यू शेयर्ड योर थॉट्स एंड योर हार्ट विद अस. प्रदीप सर, थैंक यू सो मच, आपने समय निकाला एंड हमें गोपी सर के बारे में बताया, बात करी हमसे. हम बहुत शुक्रगुजार हैं सर. A lot of regards to your parents and to the family, sir, and a lot of love and blessings to your children. May they blossom and flourish. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Your
you.
Thank you.
students and your children will carry the flag ahead. Gopi,
Thank you, man.
our
Thank you.
blessings are with you. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
जी जी, आप सबको बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. हम प्रोग्राम को यहीं पे कंक्लूड करते हैं. जिंदगी में एक शब्द बहुत ज़रूरी होता है, एक इमोशन बहुत ज़रूरी होता है, वो है कमिटमेंट. आई थिंक गोपी सर की जिंदगी इज अबाउट कमिटमेंट. ही इज कमिटेड.
उनका था मैं जीत के आऊंगा और दूसरों को जिताऊंगा और देश को जिताता रहूंगा. दैट वाज हिज स्लोगन. मैं जीत के आऊंगा, अब आपको जिताऊंगा और देश को जिताता रहूंगा. उस प्लेटफॉर्म पे देश को डालूंगा जहां देश जीतता रहेगा.
जी
दैट्स हिज स्लोगन. दैट्स गोपी.
सर, माँ की कृपा बनी रहे आप पे, और आप ऐसे ऐसे हाउ यू आर गिविंग योर ऑल टू एवरीबॉडी. बच्चों को आप पूरी ब्लेसिंग दे रहे हैं, ऐसे ही देते रहे सर. सर थैंक यू सर. फिर मिलेंगे. आप
May
सबको
God's
फिर
blessings
मिलेंगे.
remain with you. You and your family and your champions.
आप
Thank
सबको मिलेंगे अगले महीने. जय धारी. शुक्रिया.